What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to another daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? It's another quickie, your daily fantasy habit. And Commission and I were just talking about your questions. And we were saying that you should listen to us. So, because most of your questions are in the podcast, and most of the questions have been talked about, maybe not today, but in past episodes. So, yeah, we would appreciate it as well if you listen to the podcast and get your lowdown or your recap of our daily show. I'm your host, JJT, with Komish. Komish, lots of news, lots of games today, actually.
Lots of games, and then last night, one after the other, lots of COVID news came out. So that was something because a lot of ads because of the COVID news.
Yep.
And then injuries today. So lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about, we talked about the COVID stuff. I think there was nothing new except for Jakob Poeltl. I think that one we didn't really talk about. And Lauri Markkanen. So they had a game. Both teams had games today, so you probably would be able to see already who got a boost in their values. Kevin Love.
Kevin Love is out also.
Oh yeah. He had COVID. Dean Wade, and
another white boy.
Dean Wade,
the white boys.
Who's the other guy?
Dylan Windler and Prince Sedi Osman.
Chedai Osman.
I picked up Chedai it's not Chedai, not Sedi, but anyway, Chedai Osman in 14 team leagues. In 14 team leagues. He didn't play a lot. He played 17 minutes only, came off the bench. Surprisingly, Dean Wade is a power forward, by the way. But I guess they started him because they want to continue with the three big
lineup.
Yeah, and maybe Mobley is really the small forward there. We don't know. maybe he's really they think of him as a small forward. But I still think that Osman will be the better ad. But all of these guys are low end. Basically 3 points. 3 points. That's it.
Yeah.
So nothing exciting.
And then from the Spurs side,
that one, yeah.
Thad Young.
Is,
this year so far we've seen lots of the old guys showing their stuff, and Thad Young is one old guy who can be a great contributor in fantasy.
Who is surprisingly not being played.
Yep.
I mean, there is not showcasing an old guy, but there is totally just disregarding him, like what Popovich is doing. But right now, he played 22 minutes today. So I think in 14 team leagues, he's an ad. 12 team, maybe not yet. But 14, I think he's worth an ad if he gets that many minutes.
Yeah.
I expected him to get more, but Drew Eubanks
is another
20.
Popovich favorite, I guess.
3 blocks today, but very, very limited player. Not really that talented. Yeah. So he'll be up and down. If Young gets 23, 25 minutes, he's going to be consistent, in my opinion.
In 14 teams, some of the questions that we get, there are still players that should be added over these guys. The COVID replacements, the Dean Wades. I've seen some Pat Beverly on the waiver for a few leagues, or managers dropping some players prematurely. Like I've seen some Jalen Brunson drop before before these past couple of games where he played really well.
Yeah.
So they might be clearing the waivers for the next couple of days.
If we're talking about 14 team leagues, we have said it again and again that Jalen Brunson is worth a roster spot. He's not a streamer in 14 team leagues. And Pat Beverly, we also told you about him last week.
Yesterday. Yep.
Yesterday we told you that he's gonna even be better because D'Lo is out. But even before D'Lo was out, I said I like Pat Bev. I like him because he has a role here in Minnesota, and he has always been good with steals and some 3-pointers, and he's also good in assists. Today, he almost had a triple-double. So as long as D'Lo is out, your questions about Pat Bev, the answer is, yeah, you should go pick him up.
Yeah.
Go pick him up.
Now, the question is, do you use your waiver priority for these players?
Jalen and Pat Bev. Well, depends on how high you are in the waiver priority. But if you're, let's say, around 5, 6, 7, 8, I will use it. But if you're number 1, maybe not, because Jalen is also not consistent. And basically, Jalen is points, assists, some rebounds. But he's elite in points. Yeah, threes also. So they're not that high upside players for me to use my number 1 or number 2 waiver priority, I think.
Yeah. All right. So there, those are some of the buy players, I guess, that you should be watching out for, picking up or streaming for those low end players. Injuries. Let's talk about some. Oh wait, before that, let's talk about some players returning. Malcolm Brogdon played today. Had a nice game. I think he had 7 rebounds, 7 assists. I forgot how many points he had.
Malcolm had 8 rebounds, 7 assists. I think 18 points or 17 points, something like that. But the key there is he played 36 minutes. Coming off a hamstring injury, he's playing that much minutes already.
He played the most among all the Pacers.
He came back earlier than I expected him to come back. Which is good or bad. I'm a Malcolm Brogdon owner, so I'm happy he came back, but I'm not too sure how long
can he stay on the court with
given
those
36 minutes. Yes, so I'll be aggressive in offering him to managers. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
So yeah, Malcolm Brogdon played, and we've already seen. Now we've seen how the rotation would look like, right? Duarte still played 33 minutes. I think the person that's really going to be affected here is TJ McConnell. Yeah, pretty much that guy. Although Jeremy Lamb was out, so it's another. But I think Duarte is a safe player to own in terms of. I think Indiana would really stick to him in the rotation.
Duarte played 34 minutes, but you can see that he only took 10 attempts now.
Yep.
That is the thing that we have to look at, how his usage will be affected, and I think it was affected. And we also had good news with TJ Warren that he's now he's not months away, he's weeks away from returning, according to the team. But of course, with TJ Warren, its weeks will usually be around December 10, 15, maybe those time. But Duarte for me will really get affected when even especially when Warren comes back. Right now, the minutes
when Warren comes back and plays well, I get this sense that coming from that type of injury, they'll really take it slow with Warren, and maybe Duarte can still be useful or will still have that usage until maybe before the All-Star.
Maybe, but Duarte, I think, a lot of managers were able to sell high on Duarte, and that is what you should have done. What you should have done, and I think he will get the minutes all throughout the season because the injuries will be there.
Yep.
But the stats that he will give you, I would compare it maybe to Desmond Bain, maybe like that, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of managers are overhyping him right now because of the first game explosion. Which, if you look at it, he has been slowly, going down.
Scaled back at least on the points. But
still do not drop. he's not.
The thing I like is that he can give you some rebounds and some assists right now. I mean, earlier in the season, he was just more of the scoring guard. Now he has a little bit more rebounding, a little bit more assists. If he can continue that, I think he's still worth the roster spot. Given that you probably picked him very late in the drafts.
He probably is a free agent. He was probably a free agent.
Yeah, or
a waiver guy.
picked up as a free agent. If you had your
Yeah.
drafts before the season start or before the preseason. All right. And other players who came back, Nerlens Noel returned. This guy
Yes.
is rostered pretty much in almost all leagues, except maybe a 12 team.
50 57%, I think. He's
Mhm.
rostered 50. It was higher. It was 70 something before he was out for so long, so people got impatient and dropped him. For me, he's not a must roster really. In 12 team leagues, he's not a must roster. In 14
Yeah.
team, yes, he but not must roster, but can be rostered. In 14 teams can be. But I would not say it's really a must roster in 14 team leagues. Really steals and blocks. So basically like the steals and block specialist we have right now. Covington, but Covington has threes. So maybe Tybal, something like that.
Yeah. And a handcuff maybe for Mitchell Robinson. I don't know. We all know his injury
Last year I
history.
would do that. Last year I would do that, but this year Mitch Robinson is kind of low end also. So handcuffing
True.
a low end guy with another low end guy is like wasting a roster spot in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
So
Good point there. Um, let's talk a little bit about Kyrie.
yeah,
All
Kyrie.
right.
Kyrie
So there's a
news.
little hope now on the Kyrie
I think
situation, I guess.
I'm not sure if Shams or Woj tweeted this that the new mayor will revisit the no vaccination, no play rule by the time he steps into office. For those who do not know, they have elections every 2 years, I think, local elections, and the winners usually go into office on New Year's Day. So January 1, when the new mayor steps in, he said he will revisit. We don't know what revisit means though. So I don't know if he's still
So
gonna.
there's hope, but I think the wait is gonna really take a while. Like if
But
that's January 1,
that's not too far off though.
yeah.
That's too
Sure,
far
it's not
away.
too far off, but again, he'll still get his conditioning, get the game shape. Uh,
It's okay. I
although the
mean,
good thing is it's not coming from an injury, so at least there's he might be keeping himself into shape.
so I guess the Ben Simmons versus Kyrie, who will play first? Looks like Kyrie's going back, taking the lead again. It's it's going
Yep,
back and
yep.
forth.
And like I said, I think the Ben Simmons situation now is worse than it was before he told Philadelphia that he was mentally not ready to play. Now he is getting paid, and there have been reports already that I've been seeing some tweets from ESPN reporters or analysts saying now Philly is not in a good spot with the Ben Simmons situation.
Actually, there's the new report that Philly is getting impatient with him and not happy with him because
Yeah,
they want to help him with the mental thing. They have a psychiatrist, I
yep.
don't know, but Ben doesn't want
Get
to go to
their yeah,
their doctor.
yep.
So, and he doesn't want to share the results or the whatever they're doing with the other doctor, the doctor by the NBA Players Association. So there's an impasse again.
Yep.
But
And Philly
mhm,
doesn't want to pay him as well for missing the games. But now they can't do that.
yes, because because of the reason of mental not prepared mentally.
Yeah.
You cannot find someone for that. So
Yep.
well, let's see what will happen. It's a very high stakes
I mean,
drama.
I think it's sure that he won't play in Philly ever. He won't
He
play for
he
Philly ever. I don't think he will
he
play for Philly again.
he did say that he still doesn't want to play
Yeah.
in Philly. So that
So
doesn't change.
so the only hope now is for us managers who own some Ben Simmons there is that he gets traded soon. And with the way things are going, his value probably is lower now because teams will now be afraid. What's going on with that mental thing, right? I mean,
Um, I don't think that's true though. I mean, the mental thing, obviously,
There have been a lot
all
of
of us
people
know
think that
that
that's not true.
all of us know it's an excuse. All of us know it's an excuse. So if he gets traded, I think he plays right away. He plays right away. Suddenly he's mentally prepared. And I think he will say that mentally my problem is the fans. So if I'm not gonna play in front of them, then I don't have any issue anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Again, we're speculating what's going on into what's
Another
going on there,
injury,
but
another
yeah.
injury by the way is Donovan Mitchell. Sprained ankle. I watched the game where he sprained his ankle, but that was before the first half ended. He went straight to the locker room. When
Is
he
Gobert
sprained it,
injured?
I don't think so. Why?
He has an out tag beside his
Go-
name. So,
I'm not. I
but
didn't
there's
hear
no
about
notes about
Gobert.
him being injured. So maybe it was just a mistake. But
I
I
don't
have
know.
him.
I didn't hear about Gobert, but Donovan, I saw the injury. I thought it was nothing because he played through it in the second half, but he's questionable. And then Hassan is also questionable, but I think he's gonna probable, but I think he's gonna play.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, let's see what will happen with Donovan if he's gonna miss the game. Mike Conley time.
Yeah. So there you have it. Injuries. Speaking about injuries, Kyle Kuzma also got injured in PJ Washington.
Kyle Kuzma is the more. I don't know if it's gonna be severe. He left in the third quarter with the arm issue, and he was not able to come back. He was 1 out of 10 today.
Both are arm issues. The other one's an elbow issue.
Yes, but it seems like Kyle's is more serious. Right. I just have the feeling that Kyle Kuzma's because PJ's is a hyperextension or something, but Kyle's is called a contusion. But he was in pain. Although this season, I really don't know what's in pain or what's not in pain. Sometimes it looks really bad, but they just stand up. So I hope it's like that. But I think he's gonna miss some games.
And is PJ Washington a drop at this point?
No, unless
I've seen him being dropped
again.
Again, yeah. Even in our league, he was dropped.
Well, if you have an IL, of course, he's not droppable. If you don't have an IL and you're down big, then maybe. But as we said, he's just starting to get back to his old self, right?
Yeah.
He was getting hot.
He's getting better. He's playing better the past few games. So yeah, maybe you should extend your patience a bit. But of course, Kyle Kuzma, you probably won't drop Kyle Kuzma. I mean,
you see how far we've gone. Now
you won't drop. No, because in fairness, he's been playing really well for the Wizards. Yes. So you probably won't drop him.
Actually, I'm interested to talk about the Wizards because with Kuzma out, Rui out, there's some value that's going to be available here. And I think Denny Avdija, who played well today, can be a short-term play. Similar to Georges Niang, to Korkmaz. I feel if Kuzma will miss time, Avdija will be the starter. So let's see. He's been promising.
So I think if you're streaming a spot, you could, make a speculative ad already on that Avdija.
Yes.
Yes. Or maybe a Bertans.
Bertans is injured. Bertans is badly injured. He's out. He's not day to day. He's weeks to weeks, according to the coach.
When? Just today?
Yesterday, I think. He didn't play today anymore.
All right.
I think it was in the practice or in the previous game. He was week to week, not weeks to week. So the coach said that it's a significant injury, which is, well, nothing new for Bertans. Happens every year. So without Bertans, with still no Thomas Bryant, no Hachimura, if Kuzma is out, they suddenly become very shallow.
Yeah.
They suddenly become shallow in the forward spot.
This could, boost a little bit the usage of maybe Dinwiddie or Beal.
I guess Harrell might become a power forward now. He gets more minutes suddenly. So Harrell's good season will continue with this news.
Fingers crossed. I have some Harrells there.
I think he will.
All right. So speaking of the Wizards, one of our worry players is Daniel Gafford. Personally, I'm worried because the rebounds are not there. I mean, the blocks are there. It's just that the rebounds aren't there.
You guys know I'm very high on Gafford. I had him pegged really, really high this year because I thought and I was thinking he was paid. Last year he ended the season very well, and then he was rebounding in double digits and 3 to 4 blocks sometimes. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened because he's averaging 4 rebounds a game this year. And well, actually, I know what happened. Kyle Kuzma got all the rebounds. So maybe the Kuzma injury will also help him.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but you're right. Kyle Kuzma has been getting lots of rebounds. And then when Kyle Kuzma's off the floor, it's Montrezl Harrell who's gonna be rebounding the ball. So that
I guess the thing is, if Kuzma comes off the floor, Gafford also comes off the floor. So
yeah.
So he doesn't really have a lot of time with other forwards except Kuzma. And Kuzma is a very aggressive guy. You know, he likes his stats. He's like a Tyler Hero.
He's a good rebounder, in fairness.
In fairness, yes, he's a good rebounder.
He's a good rebounder. Even with the Lakers, he was, above average rebounder. So this one just, magnified his strength as a rebounder.
But 4 rebounds there. Four rebounds a game. Four rebounds a game is not really enough, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, we would like him to get those rebounds to 8, 9, maybe.
Yeah, he's averaging 7 points. So if he's 8 points, 8 rebounds, and around 1 to 2 blocks, that would be better.
That should be good. So yeah, hopefully Gafford. I'm not sure if he still. Do you think he still reaches top 80?
Maybe it's hard because we still have Thomas Bryant, remember, and Rui coming back.
Yeah.
But if the injuries continue with Washington, there's a chance. If the injuries continue, because we don't know about injuries, but if everybody's healthy, it doesn't look that way.
But just hold on to your Daniel Gafford.
Oh yeah, don't drop him.
He's starting and he's a center, so those are 2 combinations that's hard to find in your waiver wire. So just hold on to him. Another center struggling, Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
For someone who was picked in the second round.
How high? I think he was picked sometimes 14, 15.
Yeah.
In the third, 14, 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
There were some leagues, I've seen some league wherein he was picked, I think, 14th. And
he was definitely
below 20s.
Yeah. Definitely, there was a lot of leagues where he was picked higher than Anthony Davis. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of leagues where he was picked higher than Anthony Davis. And he was definitely picked higher than Bam Adebayo, who's, for one, a problem also because of the assists this year. And people are saying he'll be not top 20 because of the assists. And Vucevic actually is even worse because he's shooting terribly, 38%.
And
not scoring.
It looks like it continued, right? The playoffs last year, fantasy playoffs last year, this was the problem that managers had with Vucevic. After being traded to Chicago, his numbers really fell off.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Ever since he was traded to Chicago, he wasn't the first rounder kind, 15th to 16th ranked player kind of guy anymore.
Yep.
And last year, it was just really Levine and him. This year, he added DeRozan, who's been playing very well, and Lonzo. So it's hard for all 4 of them to really get, same value.
Yeah, and they're winning. So
season.
The usage was split up already, and
yes,
they're kind of winning, right? So
they're winning. Yeah,
they're winning, and that's not a good sign for Vucevic because that means he's given some of his role to the other players so that they could play better as a team.
I think he was overdrafted, but a lot of managers gave importance to his durability.
Yeah,
sort of the safer second round pick, which I get. I still don't think it's a wrong pick because of that category, the games played, the durability. But it doesn't look like he's gonna reach the draft range, though. It doesn't look like it.
Yep.
He might end up around 18 points and around 10 rebounds, maybe 45% field goal, around 1.5, 1.6 blocks, something like that. Maybe an Ayton kind of DeAndre Ayton kind of numbers with lower field goal.
Yeah. Definitely, it would be hard for him to keep that draft position. And next year would probably go lower when you pick him. But that's too early to talk about. Yeah, but definitely he's a hold. Hard to trade. He'll be hard to trade now.
Yeah, he will be easy to trade. It's just that you won't get good value.
Yeah, true.
Right. But as you can see here, his usage rate is actually 21%, which is what the lowest since his rookie season. In Orlando, he was doing 28 to 29%. That's huge.
Yeah,
that's almost 10% drop in his usage. So that's big. As Jeremy said, if you want to trade him, prepare to be prepared to be given low ball offers, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't know. So if it's a needs based trade, then that might still work, right? I mean, if you need a guard over this center that you have, that still be fine.
In general, my advice with Vucevic is I'll just hold him. Yeah. It's hard to get centers. It
is hard to get centers. There's really not much there in the waiver wire at this point. Not even players who you feel later on would, give you some value. There aren't many in the waiver wire.
Yes. Right? That are centers. That are centers. The upside. Maybe
there's one or two that can be late season ads, but that's too far out, right?
I don't even. Maybe I mentioned Naz Reid before, but there are a lot of other players that are upside picks, but they're not centers. So so it's tough. It's tough to find centers.
Yeah. All right. So those are our worry players for today. Some worry players that have played well. We'll just go through them. MPJ played a little better, a double-double once again. Still not the type of production.
Yes.
This is a sign of life, as we call it.
It's good that he's at least rebounding. But as we said, just don't expect second round value this year.
Yeah.
Don't even expect... for sure, Miles Bridges will be higher than him this year. So
are you sure?
Yeah, I think so. Don't go selling Miles Bridges high and then aiming for Michael Porter Jr. But some people will say, but
which happened in one trade.
Yes,
it did push through, but because lots of when I asked around, there were also lots of managers that were not sure how to deal with that, because it was like you should have been selling Miles Bridges high, but in return, if you're getting MPJ, who's not really high right now, I don't think many managers felt that it wasn't the right deal.
Well, that's not vetoable though. That's their prerogative. That's their own projection. For me, true. But if I'm the one being asked, I would rather have Miles Bridges, because I think the upside of Bridges is actually what we hope Michael Porter would be, which is top 20. He is top 20 right now. I don't think Michael Porter Jr. will reach there. I just don't think so. He doesn't have the body language is bad. He's not taking as much as attempts. He's not as motivated. I can see. I don't know why. So I think he's more of a top 50 guy.
Mm-hmm.
So there.
So Michael Porter. Well, at least he played well. So that's something positive to take away.
If I can get Michael Porter for my Jordan Poole or my Nickeil Alexander-Walker or my Evan Fournier,
you won't.
No. I mean, you can. There are trades like that. I've seen it in Yahoo's trades. There are, because Michael Porter Jr. right now is really, really. The value is really low. The value is really low, but. Well, I think there are leagues where you can swing that deal. If your league is not smart, but that's true.
All right. Other players, some of these players we've been calling out already in the past few episodes. Jaren Jackson Jr. was part of our worry player. At least he played better today. DeAndre Hunter, I think we talked about him a bit. Was thinking
Yeah.
if he was a droppable player.
10 of 11.
Thankfully, I did drop all of my DeAndre Hunters, but yeah, he played well today.
Well, he's
Reggie
still a
Jackson.
drop for me in 12 team leagues. He's not a must roster. 10 of 11. How many times will he do 10 out of 11?
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I think he made 6 threes tonight. He was feeling it
yes,
today.
6 out of 6.
Reggie Jackson, another player we called out in our review list.
Reggie
Played
Jackson
better.
is, even if he doesn't play this well, he's not a drop because of the usage.
Yeah.
We keep on saying usage because that's important. That's important. You will see that
more usage, more chances of, stat padding, I guess. If that's how you call it.
Like Reggie Jackson, he's 30-something% shooting but he's got so many attempts and the ball is with him for so long that the stats will just be there.
Yep.
I mean,
the
by
stats
default,
will be there.
Yeah, the stats will be there.
Kevin Huerter, well, this one's a little more of a fluke
Still a drop.
because he's not a rosterable player. Jordan Poole also was hot today. I think he hit 7 threes.
Actually,
unfortunately, I sat him in one of my leagues. So
I sat him in 2 of my leagues. I sat him in 2 of my leagues, and that hurts. Actually, I was gonna share that the science of life was actually gonna be a truth or fluke. That was gonna be what I was gonna do. So each one I will write if it's truth or if it's fluke. But when I was typing it, I typed the whole article already. It got erased. So, so I was so frustrated. I just
put it in notes.
I just typed whatever I could remember. I did not even think too much anymore. But yeah, it was supposed to be truth or fluke. And who are we talking about? Reggie Jackson was truth-ish, kind of fluke. Huerter was a fluke. And then who was the last one? Jordan Poole is half truth-ish. Because
that's too much. I mean, he had 31 today. I don't think he'll have 31, 7 threes. If he can make half of that, just three threes a game, 2.5 to 3 threes a game, and average around 16.
Problem is Clay.
Yeah,
I mean, Clay is coming. Clay is coming
Clay
back.
can still shoot, as we can see in the we still don't know.
The video.
I mean, Ben Simmons can shoot on the videos.
No, but even if Clay doesn't shoot well or whatever, doesn't play well, he's Clay. So the Warriors will be starting
him. Playing him. Yeah.
They won't put him off the bench.
You don't pay someone 30 million, 40 million just to sit around, right?
It's more of he's a cult hero in Golden State. You cannot put him on the bench.
Yeah. And
he's
I'm
gonna
sure
play.
the fans will, want to see him back.
Will want to see him
back. Robert Covington, another player that we talked about, but the usage has been really low for Robert Covington.
7%. I mean that is, I don't know what level is that. Tony Snell's level kind of a usage. 7%. It's almost as if he just
I've seen some Covington dropped already.
I'll pick them up.
14
I'll pick them up. If there are people who drop Covington, I'll pick them up. This is nothing new for him, as we said. He's gonna bounce back. Even in smaller usage, there's value in him. If you are rostering Matisse Thybulle, no reason why you should not roster Robert Covington.
Dame Lillard, the shooting has not been there, but at least he scored, I think, 29 today. 25?
26 points, 8 assists, and then 3 threes, but 7 out of 20. And the weird thing is even the free throws are bad now. I think he
3 out of 5. No, lots of players are struggling with their free throws.
This is weird. This Lillard thing is weird. But the more I think about it, the more I'm comfortable just holding him. I'm not selling low. I'll just hope that he bounces back.
Yeah,
I just hope that he bounces.
Might be too good. He's too good of a player not to play better. So I guess holding is also an option. Those are the signs of life. A few feel-good players. We talked about Miles Bridges.
Enjoy.
Enjoy,
Jeremy.
Really good. And
enjoy.
I'm holding. I'm holding. I'm not selling high. For the reason, if I picked him 100, I don't think I can get, for one, it's hard. It's going to be hard to get a player who's a top 10 right now. I mean, from a player I just picked 100, right? I mean, if he's gonna, I don't expect him to be top 10. I think he's what, 3, 2?
12. No, he
Now?
fell a little bit, yeah. Because but around 10, 11, around that range. But still a first round value.
Yeah.
And I know your principle about trading players you pick low and then exploded. You rather keep them. And generally I would say that I'd advise against that. But in this instance, yes, I agree with you. I'd keep him. I'd keep him.
I'd keep him. I'd keep Miles Bridges.
Unless someone offers you maybe a Jimmy Butler, a Paul George.
Yeah. That's
I mean, right?
Again, who would resist that, right? I mean,
I agree with you. I agree with you in this instance. It's correct. That's the correct thing to do.
Yeah, the stocks 2-2 today really good. No turnovers, by the way.
I was planning to offer Randall and Lillard for him, but since you said you'll keep, maybe I'll just.
I'll just saying. You're just saying that.
No, I was really thinking about it, but since you're that adamant, I'll not offer it anymore.
Seth Curry. I also have a Seth Curry in our league. Really playing well.
And guys, when we talk about feel-good players, Jeremy says, I have this. You know what are the standings of his teams this year. Because we talk about Miles Bridges, I have Miles Bridges. We talk about Montrezl Harrell, I have Montrezl Harrell. We talk about Seth Curry,
not in
Seth
all,
Curry.
not in all.
But when we talk about worry players,
I don't have those.
I have
so
a lot
far.
I have Chris Tapps. I have so you can see this season.
I don't have
how
LPJ.
Teams of.
I have Gafford though. I have lots of Gafford.
In fairness, it's good advertising for us because Fantasy Benchwarmers is the team name of Jeremy and it's been number 1 in all of the leagues.
No, not all. But I'm pretty happy with so far with all of the teams because not as good as last year's, but it's
not
also
as good as last year's.
Not as bad as last year. Sorry, not as bad as last year, but and it's also hard to manage everything. So if I'm lagging behind the standings, it would be hard to trade, really, to be honest.
Well, Seth Curry and Matisse Thybulle, I saw you picked him up in one of our leagues also.
Yes.
So that's good. You've been getting the right players that we've talked about, and both of them for the next 2 weeks. Happy.
Thybulle is really good. And today he was better because he scored 8 points and made 2 threes. So if he can do that, that's fine.
Golden. That's golden.
That's good enough because the stocks are really elite. I mean, 3 steals, 2 blocks a day. He's averaging 2.5, I think. Steals and 1.5 blocks for a guard.
Yes, and I only hope that he will be starting from now on. And Danny Green should not be starting. I don't know why they don't want to start.
Well, he's injured, so let him be.
But still, if Thybulle sticks in the starting roster, then he's gonna be a big breakout guy. Seth Curry, try to package him, try to add him to any deal as right now because he's gonna be good, and then people will be like, "Whoa, yeah, he's good. I'm gonna get him." But when the guys come back, he's back to low value set like before.
You're giving me ideas. Let's see. All right.
Yeah.
So DeMar, we talked about DeMar a bit. Really good so far. People thought that he'll fall off, but yeah, so far so good. And lastly, Norm Powell.
Good today, huh? Just when we called him out, remember we told you Duarte for Powell. Or now Nickeil Alexander for Powell. Powell is our favorite target.
Yep.
He's heating up.
No one wants to trade me their Powells. Anyway, that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. We've reached our time limit. Everything that we talked about, it's already posted in the Facebook page. So if you have access to that, you'll get early. You see those posts or the quickies earlier. And that's it. And we'll see you again tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow we'll go live Q&A and we will have a guest. tomorrow. One of the managers from one of our leagues. We'll keep it secret for now, and you'll find out tomorrow. So that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.